Hi guys, so today I am sitting down with you and talking about something that is so close to me, obviously. It is about the relaunch of Minuit Demi, which is my perfume in collaboration with Fragrance du Bois. And yes, we are about to relaunch it on the 29th of April, which is in a few days. Minuit Demi will be back live on the fragrancedubois.com website for you guys to buy. There is no pre-order, nothing like that. We have had the fragrance in production now and it is ready to be bottled, packed and ready to go. So yeah, Minuit Demi will be relaunching on April 29th, but I just kind of wanted to touch over a few things in this video and kind of talk with you guys a little bit. So as you guys know, I worked on this perfume for a very long time. It was over a year that I was working on Minuit Demi. It was pretty much ever since I met the Fragrance du Bois team in Cannes 2019. It's where I also met my boyfriend Pierre. Whatever, that's another story. But yeah, I met with the Fragrance du Bois team because I had to. As soon as I knew that I was going to Cannes, I was like, this is a brand that I want to meet the people behind them. I want to meet the people behind this beautiful brand. And just quickly, if you don't know, this was my first love from Fragrance du Bois. You can even see it's in the old packaging that they had. This was my first love. A subscriber sent me a sample of it. Hey Nicole, if you're watching. I fell in love with it, got it from Lucky Sen. The rest is history. I fell in love with everything from Fragrance du Bois. Oud Jaune, Oud Orange, Oud Rose, Parisienne, Santal obviously. And after that, I wanted to meet them so badly. So when I went to Cannes, they were one of the companies that I met with. I had a great meeting, and literally in the first meeting with the team, I told Nicolas, I said, I would love to make a perfume with you. Like, I would love, it would be my dream. And she was like, yeah, let's see, maybe we can do this for sure. So when I left Cannes, we obviously were communicating for a long time. And basically I spent all year, all 2020, working on Minuit Demi. And I worked with one of the best labs in the industry. This is not a brag right now. This is not a brag. I don't need to brag about it because at the end of the day, this is something that I love. You may not love it. It is something that I truly love, and I put so much time and time that I truly and thoroughly enjoyed spending. If you're a perfume lover, which I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you are, it is all of our dream to make a perfume. And I was just lucky enough to get the chance to do it. So honestly, guys, when I was creating Minuit Demi, it wasn't work. Although it was work, it wasn't work. It was more enjoyment for me. I just had such an incredible time. And I quickly want to say about the lab that I work with, it was Symrise, which is one of the biggest labs for fragrance and flavors. It's like Firmenich, IFF, Givaudan, Symrise is right. Like, they're all kind of on the same level. And I wanted to show, like, this is not even 1% of how many samples we went through to find Minuit Demi. I had so many different testers made. I have one here, you can see it's empty, called Dolce Latte. I have one that's called Dolce Tabac. I have every single sample that you can imagine. I think I had about 300 samples of different versions of my fragrance. So it really took all year for me to come up with Minuit Demi. I was not happy with it until I knew that this was what I wanted to have. Yeah, so this is just a tiny little preview into the process of like the samples and everything that I was doing. So just wanted to show that in case you were interested in this. To see this fragrance, I'm just so proud. And really the time that I spent with Symrise, and especially Stephane Bengana is the perfumer behind my fragrance. He's super talented. He made things for a lot of beautiful niche brands. And yeah, I just had an amazing time working with them. And I feel like he really understood what I wanted. When I told him about Minuit Demi, or the fragrance at the time, he really understood exactly what I wanted. Let's get into this video and talk about the fragrance. So Minuit Demi, it's going to relaunch on April 29th, so just in a few days. And it's not a pre-order. You can literally click buy, it's going to be shipped and delivered. Now, I know that there was a lot of problems with the previous ordering from Fragrance du Bois, Minuit, Demi. I know that there was a lot of problems with this, and truly I apologize from my side. Also Fragrance du Bois, I'm sure that they apologized many times, but there was so many things going on at the period when we were shipping out. There was Brexit, obviously COVID, and so many different complications. There was also things where the fragrance got stuck in like Italian customs, and it was just a nightmare. But this time we are much more prepared. Something else that a lot of people were asking me is that, did we only order a very tiny amount of fragrance? Is it going to sell out like last time? Because if you don't know this, the fragrance, which I was not expecting at all, sold out in 3 days. It literally sold out in 3 days, and nobody could believe it. I remember the team, they sent me a screenshot. There was over 100 orders in the first 5 minutes of the fragrance being live. Over 100 orders in the first 5 minutes. It's enormous. And so yeah, it sold out in 3 days, and obviously people were disappointed that they couldn't buy it. I know that it was marketed as a limited edition. This is something I'm completely aware of, and we, to be honest, we did want it to be a limited edition. We did. We truly did. But seeing the response and seeing the potential of the fragrance, and also seeing how many people wanted it and were disappointed that they missed out, we kind of thought, and we thought about it for a little while, because at the end of the day, it was kind of a limited product, and it is something kind of special. I mean, my name is on a bottle. It's something that they did with another individual. So it was kind of something we wanted to be like an exclusive release. But seeing the demand and seeing everything, we did decide that we wanted to relaunch it again. That was the original plan. And then when we saw how many people were loving it and the demand behind the fragrance, we said, well, why not do like a second launch of and see how that goes as well. And this time we did order more fragrances. We didn't order like a crazy amount, like what Chanel or even a big niche brand would order of a certain product, but we did order more than last time. So me, I don't think it's going to sell out, but I still think that some of you guys should get your hands on it. So another thing that I want to touch on is the size of the bottle. We are keeping the 100 ml bottle exclusive. There is no 50 ml yet. There is no samples or anything like that, because again, and this is not to drag on this theory that it's limited, blah blah, but we're not sure exactly about the future of the scent, so we will see. And for now, it was just easier to keep the same 100 ml bottles, so it is going to stay like this. There are no 50 mls, or if we knew that we were keeping this fragrance in the line for 10 years, 15 years, or forever, then of course we would do other size bottles, but for now it's just staying in the standard 100 ml size. So yeah, something else that I feel like is a big misconception with the scent, and it's not frustrating, it's just something I wish more people knew, is that this is unisex. Minuit Demi is unisex, guys. It is a unisex scent, gourmand through and through. For me, I have asked men and I have asked women if they would wear this perfume. I've asked people that don't even know me. I've gone to different perfume companies and not told them it's my perfume, and just wanted to see what they thought about the scent, which actually was a video I was thinking of filming, like going to different brands and getting the founders to like smell the fragrance and see. Anyways, but everyone said unisex. This is not feminine, nor is it masculine. This is a unisex gourmand. Now, quickly, we'll go into a little bit of how it smells, but you guys already know. So what I love about my fragrance is that, and you know, something that I find very funny is that a lot of people said this was not what I was expecting. And I don't know how to take this comment. I don't think it's a negative comment, nor do I think it's a positive comment. Like, it's kind of a comment that leaves you like, what do you mean? Because for me, an inspiration for me when I was creating Minuit Demi was Gourmand Coquine from Guerlain. For me, this is the epitome of a soft, delicious gourmand that is so refined and cozy and cocooning and sensual. And it was exactly what I wanted with my gourmand. I didn't want a gourmand like Baccarat Rouge. I didn't want a gourmand like I didn't want something too much or too in your face. I really wanted to embody that cocooning, cozy, sensual, seductive, sweet, warming gourmand scent. There was actually a sample within here that smelled kind of closer to Gourmand Coquine from Guerlain, but I decided that that sample, it smelled too feminine to me. And I thought, and actually I asked a lot of guys, especially within the industry, and a lot of them said this is much more feminine. Although it's beautiful, it's much more feminine. So I wanted to add some kind of masculine touches, or at least something that makes the scent more unisex. So for me, that little bit of spicy kick in the top from some pimento, some bergamot, some cardamom, it gives a kick, which I love. I love when perfumes have layers. Then the mid, it becomes very warm. It has caramel, coffee, a very like milky, vanillic kind of mid. And the base, obviously some wood, some vetiver, and this beautiful base that is exclusive to Symrise. It's one of their captives, tobacco Bourbon. So this is one of their bases from the Laire line. They have a few different captives from this line, and I chose to have the tobacco Bourbon Laire in my base because I love tobacco, I love boozy, I love this sort of thing, which I will be honest, you don't really get any tobacco or booziness from the scent in my opinion, but it has a base, it has layers to the scent. You have the top of the spicy fresh, you have the mid of that sweetness, and then the dry down, it becomes a little more sweet and woody and creamy. For me, it is my favorite gourmand in the entire world to wear, and I'm biased. That's it, I'm biased. I love to wear it. It's my favorite gourmand ever in the universe, but it's just exactly what I love in a gourmand fragrance. It's sweet, it's spicy, it's woody, it's cozy, cocooning, enveloping, it wraps you, and that's what I love about it so much. Oh la la. So good. I just love it. I've gone through one entire bottle like this and 50 billion samples of my scent, so I know the longevity by heart. For me personally, it lasts around 8 hours on my skin. Like 8 hours, I can still smell it. It's not a beast mode fragrance. I will tell you that right now. If you're only interested in a Baccarat Rouge or an Oud for Greatness, or I'm trying to even think of anything else, a Nishane, Hashivat, or Annie, then this will not be for you. But if you want something that has nice longevity but sits a little closer to the skin, then you will love Minuit Demi. It's not going to project like a show-stopping fragrance, a beast mode fragrance, but it will last and it will project within arm's length. The next thing that I want to touch on is this right here. This is just, this is enormous. I did not expect this, and Fragrance du Bois, they were so kind. This was kind of their gift to me after we collaborated on the perfume. We launched it, it was finally done, the stress was over. Well, actually the stress was just beginning, but it was a little present that they gave me and I was just shocked. Usually, guys, something you have to know about me is that I hate sparkles. I hate Swarovski, I hate anything with diamantes. I'm really not that vibe. I like neutral. I don't like showy things, you know, like it's not my vibe at all. So when I saw this bottle, I have to tell you guys that I could not believe how much I fell in love with this. And I think the reason is because it's all black. I think the all black makes it look insane. Insane. Like the way it catches the light, insane. Anyways, I will stop that. But what I want to say is that we do have a very, 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 very small quantity of the Swarovski bottle for sale. Now, obviously, guys, come on. Obviously, this was super expensive for the brand to make. I know the price of what it was to make. I couldn't believe it. It's really, really expensive to create this bottle, really. For me, it's something, if you really love Fragrance du Bois, if you really love my perfume, and I guess you kind of like me as well, then purchase it, because it is just the most beautiful thing that you could have in your collection. It's really stunning. The retail price would be super expensive, guys, I'm sorry, £795 for this bottle. So I'm just, honestly, even me, I'm not even sure I would buy it, but it's super expensive. But for me, I could not be happier, and it feels so luxurious in your hand. But yeah, the Swarovski bottles, it is an option to purchase if you did want to, but obviously it's really, really expensive, so no pressure. So the big question is, should you buy Minuit Demi when it relaunches on April 29th? Obviously, I'm gonna tell you yes, but only if you love gourmand fragrances with a little bit of a spiciness in the top, a very warm, comforting dry down. For me, this is a beautiful, very, very, very likable and cozy gourmand fragrance. It is not something very abstract or something with oud or rose or anything too crazy. For me, it is a very likable gourmand scent, and I just love it so much. So if you have the money, if you have the £250 to spend, or they're around $300 US, then I would say 100% go for it, buy it. And if especially if you love your gourmand fragrances, lots of vanilla, warm, caramel, milky. It is just my favorite gourmand in the entire world. I'm trying to think if I forgot anything, but I really don't know. So I will just recap. Minuit Demi will relaunch on April 29th. The only size that you can purchase will be the 100 ml for £250 or $300. You can have the option, which, guys, like this is really wow. But at the same time, I completely understand, even the original fragrance is expensive. This is going to retail for £795. It's more of a piece that you would just put in your collection if you want something beautiful. But yeah, just wanted to mention that. It's so beautiful. And yes, it is a unisex scent, no worries. For me, I love smelling it on Pierre. It's in the same vibe of like Black Phantom, Jazz Club, By the Fireplace, those type of scents. So if you like them, then you will like Minuit Demi for sure. And it could also be around the same vibe as like Santal Complete for sure. So if you like those type of gourmand fragrances, then you will like Minuit Demi. I hope that I covered everything. And guys, if you have any questions about the fragrance, about the launch, leave it in the comments down below and I will answer to every single comment about the fragrance. If you have any questions or concerns, just let me know and I will answer. All right, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I cannot wait for the relaunch of the fragrance, and yeah, thanks for watching and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.